So Tag Rugby, we're a big supporter of charities. We started supporting Goal, which is a humanitarian company that help in third world countries. We've supported the Nathan Cubitt Foundation, which was a young player who had a spinal injury, and obviously the cost that goes into his life moving forward. So we ran a tournament to help raise funds for that. We've helped the Matt Hampson Foundation, which is another injured rugby player from a spinal injury. We've done a lot of work with the Tag Rugby Trust, who've been fantastic, and they do a lot of work throughout Africa. Now that we're donating 100 balls to another African nation, if we've got the resource to do so, we're happy to do that. And we've also, another thing that we've done is we've donated balls to rugby clubs in Kenya. And just on Friday at our Christmas party, we're going to run a food drive for homeless shelters. So we're in a position to be able to help, and we want to be able to give back to our community, and that's why we're doing this.
It's tremendously important for us. We've now got over 68 nations playing rugby league around the world. Many of those at different levels, nations that are developing, that need support, need help. So just a supply of balls in some of those developing nations can make all the difference, whether they can play or not play. So that's going to really help children around the world. It's going to help rugby league players around the world. So the partnership with Tag is tremendously important for us.
Yeah, it's really appreciated. The demand for rugby league around the world, and especially some non-traditional areas, really outstrips sometimes our ability to supply equipment. One of the big changes we made at the RLEF 5 years ago was fundamentally we need to annually supply our members with balls, and now we send over 1,000 balls to various rugby league playing nations around the world. There are more and more nations coming on board all the time. Just this year we're dealing with new interest from various African nations, and to be able to supply them with the fundamental tool of the sport is obviously the first thing that they need to be able to play.
Yes, I think we would very, very much like RLIF as well as the International Federation to be able to build these relationships to help countries around the world. It's not always just cash that helps countries. It can sometimes be resources, it can be coaches, it can be educators, but it can be facilities and equipment. And to be able to provide balls is the first basic to be able to say to a country, let's really get starting to play.
At Tag Rugby, we're all about developing the sport and getting people into rugby, and Tag Rugby is based on rugby league. It's basically a non-contact version of rugby league. So if there's anything we can do to get more people involved in rugby, then we're happy to do so.
Well, I think just to see the smile on children's faces, I've been lucky enough to see that in other sports as well. The smile that children have when they start to pick up a ball for the first time, to start playing the game, that's reward in itself. But it also secures the future for the game over the next 10, 20, 30 years. And since we've just released the strategic plan for the International Federation, this will form very much part of that, to support it, to underpin it.
We're really keen to enter into any type of partnership with well-minded, well-intentioned companies like Tag Rugby that have the interests of the sport uppermost in their minds, and the donation is really, really appreciated.
Oh, absolutely! It'd be very, very rewarding, and if we're able to help, then we'll do so.